My name is Adrian, and we're doing a cooking show here. It's called Cheap, Simple Age. Show is for people who don't really know how to cook. So, we're going to try to do some basic stuff here. We're going to start off by having a drink. We got some maple syrup mead over here that we made ourselves. So it's not sweet. It's a nice drink. Cheers. Very nice, very different. I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know how much alcohol is in it either.
So where are we?
So we're making an apple crumble today, which is super easy. And it's super healthy. I live in, well, I used to live in apple country, out on the south shore of Montreal. And when I was growing up, this is my favorite dessert. So we're going to take a little bit of a shortcut here. And we're not going to peel the apples. We want them in some fairly small pieces so that they cook better. And you could peel the apples if you want. It's a lot of work. And the peel is actually healthy. So if you don't mind the peel, you can leave it on. Some people don't like it, so they take it off.
Did you wash the apples?
Yeah, I washed the apples. I don't even think you have to wash the apples because honestly, you're cooking them. So I don't really believe.
Well, yeah. What if there's pesticides on them?
Yeah, I guess you're right, eh? Well, like I said, I wash the apples. These days with Corona, good idea to wash all your fruit and vegetables.
Not Corona beer.
Yeah. So, this is going to be a little bit boring.
How many apples do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you just did 2, so 8 apples.
I usually do this with all the apples I have. So if I have 12 apples, I do it with 12 apples. You need an appropriate sized casserole for all your apples. I have 8 apples. I think this is going to be a perfect size. So,
What is that, like 5 inches high?
I don't really know. Does it say on it? Does it say? This is a small one. We only have 8 small apples here, so we're doing sometimes I do the apple crumble and I have this big casserole at home, this really nice big casserole. And the other day I did 18 apples. 18 apples. And I peeled them and I cored them all by myself.
So you basically just want to fill up the bottom of this and have a bit of height. And then on top you put the crumble.
It's not super important. But like if you have like a bigger casserole here, you're gonna make more crumble. We haven't got to the crumble yet.
But like how many apples is too many apples or too few apples?
There's no such thing as too many apples. You need at least 8 apples.
But like how...
You're not gonna want to do this with less than 8 apples. So this is a small one. Look, this is super.
What percentage of this pan should be filled up with apples, you know?
80%.
Okay. 80% of the volume and then nothing empty, just like full. You want to fill up the entire pan
80% of it.
with apples, but then the leftover 20% you put the crumble.
Yeah, I mean you can put like.
Or do you leave
You
empty
can
space?
mound the crumble up a little bit on the top. You really don't want anything spilling in the oven. It really sucks when stuff spills in the oven.
Are you gonna cover it?
No.
Oh, you're not gonna cover it. This is the lid.
The lid is for storing it after it's cooked.
Okay.
But we cook it without the lid on it. We're gonna cook it low and slow and high because we want it like we want our apples to break down. You know.
Low for you is like 375.
375. So it's average temperature, 375. I've experimented a little bit with this, and for me, I like to do it 375 for an hour. That seems to be the best.
So you don't really have a recipe for this. You just wing it with whatever you've got.
You know, I've been doing this for 20 years. So I don't really, I eyeball it, you know? I don't need a recipe. I don't need to measure. On the website, I'm gonna put a recipe, you know, but like I'll put the recipe and the amounts for this one, but like, you know, you have to adjust it depending how big your casserole is, which is based on like how many apples you have.
So basically, people at home who have a bunch of fruit lying around, or apples, I guess specifically, but you could use also pears. What else could you use?
My friend does this with peaches.
Yeah, when it's peach season.
And her peach cobbler or casserole, whatever you want to call it, I don't know what a peach cobbler.
Crumble?
Peach crumble is fucking awesome.
With rhubarb, right?
Oh no, and then I do a rhubarb and strawberry crumble, which is really good too. And it's nice because rhubarb and strawberries are in season in Quebec in the spring, in the late spring, early summer, right at the beginning of the season. The strawberries and the rhubarb, so you put them together, and you put. I'm just gonna put some cinnamon on top of these apples. But if you're doing a rhubarb and a strawberry crumble, you want to mix in a fair amount of white granulated sugar, because the rhubarb is.
It's very sour.
The rhubarb is. Yeah. The rhubarb is a little bit sour.
So apples are pretty much always in season because they're stored in.
Well, in Quebec we get apples pretty much all year round.
Yeah, well they're harvested in the fall, but then they're stored in a special storage.
Cold storage over the winter.
Under such special storage conditions where they last all year.
Yeah, so I don't know if these are this year's apples or that year's apples, but I mean you're making an apple crumble, so it's not really important that your apples are fresh. You know, you can use like old apples or apples that are not that haven't have bruises on them, and you just cut off the bruises or the blemishes.
Well, your first idea is that we should make an apple sauce, right? And
apple
I was
sauce is super easy to make. You just do this and you cook it with some cinnamon if you want. Cinnamon is really good with apples. And you just cook it down. And you just leave it on the stove on minimum, you know, for an hour. You can add a little bit of water if you want, not really necessary, just like that. And it'll either all fall apart by itself, or you can just hit it up with a potato masher.
Yeah.
Apple sauce is nice too, but I don't make apple sauce very often. When do I make? I love making apple crumble, and it's super easy to make. You're gonna see how our topping is good in a. Look, this is nice. This is gonna fill up perfectly. This is a perfect size casserole for 8 apples. I'm on vacation right now, so I'm not in my own kitchen. So I don't really have all the regular stuff that I have in my own kitchen.
Oh, you don't need any special equipment to make apple crumble, though. No. That's what's so good about it.
You don't need anything.
Just need a knife, you need a cutting board, you need some sort of casserole, and then all the ingredients are pretty ordinary ingredients.
Yeah, totally. I gotta try not to forget to sprinkle the cinnamon on when this is done.
Alright, let's not forget. Some people put some sugar on the apples, but it's not really necessary.
Well, you don't need sugar for the apples.
Apples are
sweet enough. You know? The idea is you're making a dessert here. So it's a dessert, so it's supposed to be sweet. And you can serve this with ice cream. It's really good with ice cream, vanilla ice cream.
What about yogurt?
And I even eat it cold, straight out of the fridge, leftover cold with ice cream. And then your ice cream doesn't melt. But my friend likes to heat it up in the oven and then put the ice cream on it. And that's fine.
Oh, I don't like when the ice cream melts and it gets all liquidy.
I don't even find it's necessary to heat it up in the oven or the microwave when it's a leftover. I like it just like that, straight out of the fridge. But you know, whatever.
It's like good for breakfast.
No, it's not supposed to be for breakfast.
Yeah, but it's kind of like breakfast. I mean, oats are cereal. Apples are breakfast foods. The only thing that's not really breakfasty is the sugar and butter. But plenty of people have sugar and butter for breakfast in their pancakes, for example. You know, it could be like a breakfast for sweet
You know,
treats.
I'm a bachelor. I live by myself and I make up my own rules. So I can eat the apple crumble whenever I want. Nobody tells me what to do. So that's it.
I mean, there are worse things you eat for breakfast. What about like one of those
Well, it's
sweet cereals?
healthier than Frosted Flakes.
There you go. There's plenty of examples, I'm sure. Nothing against Frosted Flakes. They're tasty. But it's been a while I haven't eaten those, man.
The oven's preheating to 375.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the hard part is peeling and coring the apples, and that's all done.
We didn't peel, so that was a lot easier.
So now we're gonna we can't forget to put the cinnamon on.
Cinnamon. It's not essential.
You don't have to put the cinnamon, and honestly, like it's good with allspice too. Allspice is really nice.
What about powdered ginger, powdered cloves? Like you can go nuts with this, right? You can put whatever spices you want.
Yeah, cloves, nutmeg, allspice, ginger, cinnamon, stuff like that.
What about salt?
No, we don't put any salt.
I like it when it's a little salty, but I mean...
No, I don't like salt. Okay, so we got 4 ingredients going into the crumble here, okay?
What about the white sugar? Isn't white sugar involved?
No, we use brown sugar.
And this butter has been sitting out for a day.
I usually use margarine because it's cheaper and because it's got to be soft. So I don't leave my butter on the counter. I leave my butter in the fridge. But we have butter on the counter now and we don't have any margarine. So we're gonna step it up a little bit.
Margarine has trans fats, so it's not
maybe
recommended.
half a cup of flour. And,
Is that half a cup?
I don't know. It's a little bit more.
A little bit more.
It's not really rocket science. You can do whatever you want here. So
It looks like somewhere between half a cup and a cup.
maybe 3/4 of a cup or something.
Yeah. Put it in perspective here.
Yeah, I put a little bit too much flour. And then we're gonna add some brown sugar.
So
I
we
don't
got
know, maybe another half.
two-
Same amount of brown sugar as flour. And then the oats are the most healthy thing going in here. So we're gonna be. Oh, they're big oats.
Those are Canadian oats.
So I like the smaller ones better, but this will be
It says
fine.
Canadian oats, whole grain.
And then you want to add the margarine or the butter is the tricky part because it's super unhealthy, and you don't really want to add a lot, but you got to add.
That's like a third of a stick right there. Oh, then you just went further, maybe like half a stick or 3/5 of a stick or something.
Now this is the messy part here, okay?
Yeah. Are your hands clean?
Yeah, I washed my hands. I could wash them again, I guess.
Alright.
Yeah, this is we're gonna get deep and down and dirty in here. I think I have enough. You want to try to get it right because your hands are gonna be all dirty and you can't add more stuff with your dirty hands. So at this point, it's a good idea to have a helper, and your helper, your helper will add more of the ingredients if you need. Okay, so we're gonna smush this up. Okay, and you're looking for. Okay, you're looking for
Crumble.
a crumbly. You're trying to mix all the butter or well, usually use butter or margarine. What do you call that? Shortening? I don't know, whatever. You're trying to mix all the
fat.
butter up with the rest of the stuff because the butter is the.
That's why it has to be soft butter. It can't be right out of the fridge or else
No,
it
no,
won't
it's
work.
if no, you can't do it with hard butter. It'll never work.
And if you try to put it in the microwave, you'll probably just melt it instead of. So you really
Okay,
have to
look,
leave it out.
I want a little bit more oats in here, please.
Alright, I have to hold this now.
You're looking for the right texture, not too much. That's good. You want like see, look, it's gonna stick together a little bit.
There's a big chunk right there.
So this is pretty good. You know, you might want to add a little bit more butter if you don't mind, but we're just gonna keep it like this for now. I think we're okay.
I don't know, one time I added too much butter and it just got really hard in the oven and it wasn't good. It was like a rock. You want it to be like sort of soft. So yeah, it kind of looks like granola in a way. It's very big chunks like.
So look, we've mixed this enough.
Yeah.
My hands are nice and clean because I mixed it a lot. So usually your hands dirty and just. So we're just gonna pour this on top here. And it's nice to get a nice seal over the apples, you know. But it's no big deal if it doesn't. If it doesn't seal properly, it's no big deal. It'll sort itself out. So there you go. You spread it evenly over the.
Smells so good.
Yeah. What are you smelling? The cinnamon
I
or
saw
the apples?
apple cinnamon. Smells like
So-
apple cinnamon oatmeal.
So that's pretty much it. I'm just washing my hands here. We're just gonna throw that in the oven, an hour at 375 on the middle rack. It doesn't matter wherever your rack is.
I think this is a really cheap meal too. You know.
Oh, it is super cheap. Like apples. Okay, usually I buy
With the
like.
timer on.
I don't know how to work the timer. I was gonna get my watch and use my watch.
Timer.
41 hour.
Okay.
Is it working?
I hope so.
It's 4:45 in case it's not working.
Okay.
So at 5:45 it'll be ready. So that's it. I'm not gonna come back because that's it. You pull it out of the oven and you serve it up with some ice cream and.
Oh, we're gonna come back.
And you put the leftover in the. You let it cool down before you put it in the fridge. You put the top on, and how much does it cost? I can usually get like a bag of like 5 pounds of apples for like $4 when they're on special. So we got 8 apples, maybe worth like $2 or $3. $2 for the butter, and maybe a buck, and a buck, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe like $6 to $8, $6 to $8 for the whole, something like that.
That's like a conservative estimate. I think it could be cheaper. You know.
It's hard to measure how much it costs actually because like you don't really know like how much of each item you use. But it's a super cheap dessert, and it's super healthy, and it's a good way to use cheap apples. So that's it. We're done. Hey, how's it going? Our apple crumble is done. An hour at 375. There we go.
Ooh. No, all you can see is the top, so we don't know how it is, but I'm sure it's good.
You want it to be kind of a little bit solid. You know, if you wanted to make it a little bit better, you put more butter or margarine. But that's good. This is pretty healthy. There's a lot of brown sugar in it, and the oats are nice. That's it. You just serve this up with ice cream. You don't have to put ice cream if you want to be super healthy.
Oh, we're not serving it up right now, I guess. We'll serve
We're
it up
not serving
later.
up. It's only we're gonna be eating this in a few hours. So I'll just put the
Maybe we'll show it again later.
I'll just put the top on and we'll let it chill out.
Ça veut dire que c'est pas assez sucré pour moi.